Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be making these faux leather luggage tags. I'm really excited about how these turned out. I found some really fun faux leather and vinyl. This is a glitter vinyl. This one's from Hobby Lobby. This one is a PVC hot pink vinyl. I'll link the ones that I can in the description below the video. And these are going to be great gift ideas. They're great for backpacks, your suitcases, all kinds of things. And this one I personalized using the Cricut Easy Press and some iron-on. So they're really versatile, a lot of fun, and I can't wait to show you how to make them. Also, for you Cricut users, I've got a free Cricut Design Space file for you. And for those of you who don't have a Cricut, I have a PDF in the description below the video. So here's what you need. We're going to use Cricut faux leather, and that's going to make up the majority of the luggage tag. You're going to notice right away that the holes in the file that I've given you are slightly smaller. I thought these were just a little bit too big, so I did go ahead and modify the file before I shared it. So you're going to have your two luggage tags cut out. Then you're going to cut out this frame. That's also going to be cut out in your faux leather or your vinyl. And you want to put that face down on the mat when you cut it. I find that works the best. And use a strong grip mat. You're going to cut out a piece of clear PVC. And this is the same PVC we've been using. This is just a piece of stretch elastic. You could also just use a hair tie. That would be perfectly fine. And then optionally, and I think this makes it a lot easier, is a glue stick and some double-sided sewing tape, as well as your cam snap kit. Now I'm also using a Teflon foot. That's not an absolute necessity, but it does glide over the leather and the vinyl a little bit easier than your regular foot. But if you don't have one, you can still make this project. It just makes things a little bit easier. The first thing we're going to do is prepare the window portion of the luggage tag. So to do that, we're going to flip this vinyl over so pretty side is down. We're looking at the back side, and I'm using this double-sided tape. Now again, this is not a necessary part of this, but I think it makes it a lot easier. It keeps that vinyl from sliding around when you're trying to sew and ending up, a little cattywampus on you. So I think it makes it a lot easier. And alternatively, if you wanted, instead of using the tape, you can just use an ordinary glue stick, just like this. And just put that right on the edge of the frame, and then just center your vinyl piece right over the top. Now this double-sided tape has a protective layer on it. So you're just going to remove that. It just works like any double-sided tape. Just remove that backing as I'm doing right here, and then you're going to center that clear vinyl piece right over that window that we've just created. And again, this is just making it a lot easier. So now we're going to flip it over, and we're going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew right along the inside of that frame. And I like to change the stitch length to about a 3.0. I find that works pretty good on this faux leather. All right, so we've got that part done. You just want to trim off any threads that you might have. And now we're going to add our cam snap to the window. You're going to notice on the bottom of this window, one end has kind of rounded edges, that's the bottom, and the other end is square, that is the top. So I'm just centering this on my mat so that I can establish the center point. You could also measure it or just fold it in half to figure out where your center point is. But I'm on the top in the center, right in the middle of the frame, I am going to poke a hole and insert the tack portion of my cam snap and one of the backs. If you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me use this cam snap mechanism several times, but it comes with two different backs, and you just put the black side of the tool against the bottom of the tack part and squeeze. Don't over squeeze. Often when I see people having problems with the cam snap device, it's because they've over squeezed and it actually distorts the snap. So I'm just checking to make sure everything's lining up, and it is. So what we're going to do now is take our two larger pieces, and I'm going to use the glue stick right here, and I'm just kind of putting a little bit of glue in the middle. And again, I'm just doing this to hold these pieces together so that I can sew them. You could also use that double-sided tape. And I find it easiest to line up the bottom and then make sure everything else is lined up. But these should match perfectly together. If they don't, just go ahead and trim everything up. But I'm just pushing that together. And now we're going to add our cam snap to that. So in order to do that, I'm just going to place this right over the top, and using my thumb and some pressure, I'm just going to push that down, and that's actually going to put a little dot right where it needs to be for the other half of the snap. So I'm just using the awl and pushing a hole through both layers of the vinyl. I'm going to push that tack through the back side. And again, these are just like a thumbtack and then a male and a female end. And I'm putting it doesn't matter which side goes on which, as far as the male and female end. But you want the tacks to be on the back side of the tag. Once you have that into place, I'm just going to snap this back on there and just make sure that it is working and everything lines up. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that snapped when we sew it, but let's undo it, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this tape again just to keep things from sliding around. When you start working with this clear vinyl and the faux leathers, once you get it under your sewing machine, it kind of wants to just slide out of the way, and I find, why fight with it? Let's just tape it down using some of this wonderful Wonder Tape. And again, I'll have that linked in the description below the video. It's very inexpensive and it goes a long way. So I'm just going to put that back on there, snap this into place. You just want to make sure everything is lined up nicely. And once it's snapped into place and in line, we're just going to take it over to the sewing machine, and you're going to stitch along that outer edge, up and around, over the pocket, and back down and around. So just all the way around the outer edge. Nothing fancy. Okay, now it's starting to look like a luggage tag. Go ahead and trim up any threads, and you're basically done except for adding your little elastic. If you're using a ponytail, it'll be in a circle, but if you're just using a piece of elastic like I am, you're just going to fold it in half, put that fold right through the middle, and then loop the ends right through that loop, and then I just like to tie a knot. This way you can just put it over your luggage tag or a luggage handle the same way. You're just going to loop that circle over it. I like to pull it real tight and then just trim those off. But if you're using a ponytail, again, it'll just be a perfect circle. So if you want, you can be done at this point, but if you want to step it up a notch, you can go ahead and add some personalization. So let me show you how I use the Cricut Easy Press to personalize this one. Okay, so I've got my Cricut Easy Press out, and I've looked on the Easy Press guide, and it's telling me for faux leather, I'm going to use 270 degrees for 20 seconds. So that's what I've got it set on. Now, if you're doing it on the, like the hot pink one that I have there, I would probably use adhesive vinyl and not iron-on, because I'm afraid that would melt. But the faux leather takes iron-on really, really well. I'm using the glitter iron-on, and again, 20 seconds at 270 degrees. And I wouldn't advise putting it on the cam snap. I'm kind of working around the cam snap. You could even put the monogram on before you sew this together. But 270 degrees, 20 seconds on the faux leather works perfect, and I think this turned out really, really cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click the bell notification so that you're notified every time there is a new video. I'm going to continue this vinyl and faux leather series. I hope you're enjoying it. And don't forget to visit me on my blog at LorrieNunemaker.com. Until next time, never stop making. See you guys. Bye-bye.